All right, moving on. Ashley Shepherd. Hi, Ash. How you doing? She wants to know, why are you guys called Maverick City?
That's a good question.
That's a great question. MJ? Chandler?
This is a Chandler answer.
Why are you called Maverick City, Chandler?
I'm gonna read you definition. Maverick. Ooh, wait, no, not title. Okay, here we go.
The greatest.
Maverick, definition of Maverick: an unorthodox or independent-minded person. We don't want that definition. a person who thinks and acts in an independent way, often behaving differently from the expected or the usual way. So the way we were started was very unorthodox. It was very, not how things start. People would think start. We started as a writing group. Then it's a collective of artists, and we got together and recorded a whole bunch of songs that we wrote, usually within the same week. So a lot of the songs like Promises, a whole bunch of our songs, not Jara. What was on that album that we wrote that? Like Old Church Basement, Wait on You, all that stuff. Usually with the way we recorded songs, we recorded the week we wrote them. So it started off as, hey, let's just demo these songs and try to shop them out to big worship artists and see who wants to take them. Our demos end up turning into live recordings, and we ended up just capturing it and releasing it. But the other side to that is the way we are in the industry is just completely against how industry standards have been in music and in our genre. We had the privilege of merging two words together, gospel, CCM. Gospel because a lot of us come from those type of churches. I come from a very Pentecostal heavy church, but also because we were like, one thing that I would be explaining to Kurt is like in the churches that a lot of us grew up in, we would be singing songs in 3-part harmony, which was not like, CCM audiences don't really do 3-part harmony, don't really do a lot of ad-libs. I would hear that type of stuff. So like I will exalt you, all that stuff in 3-part ad-libs, taking the church, all that stuff. But so that's what I would hear growing up. So we were able to merge those two words together, and we were independent. We weren't signed to a big label or a big thing. We literally posted a video on Instagram, and it kind of blew up, and that's how it happened.
And I just want to say why that's important, like the Maverick piece, is because it wasn't just like not done. I think when in every industry, like no matter what industry, when something is not the norm, it becomes like frowned upon. Because industry, no matter what industry, is about making money. Yeah. It's about business and making money. And so it's like get on an assembly line and do the thing that gets us to where we are. And so the people, the powers that be, or people that are in leadership or power positions, start to say, hey, we don't want to give that person a chance or that person an opportunity, or we're not going to promote that or push that because it's not what is going to, do the thing. Oh, that scared me. So by us going against that and y'all liking it, it made people in the industry go, okay, I guess now, and it's not that some of them didn't want to. You know what I'm saying?
It's a risk.
It's a risk, right? They don't want to lose money, time, like all of that. So it was like, okay, now we can be open to that. And so I think more, like for me, I think what was super dope is that in the music space, I feel like we were Mavericks. In the business space, we were Mavericks. And even like in terms of social media, we were Mavericks. That it was like social media. IGTV first came out when we released that first volume 1, and it was like the Lord used that to push it, And I don't know if y'all know how this is, and I will stop talking after this. After like Jesus left the disciples, the Romans had invaded pretty much everywhere, and they had built roads because they had to get to all the places that they would get to. But God used, and I believe he waited until after the Romans built those roads to use those roads to actually spread the gospel. Mm-hmm. God is intentional about using what man has set up to go, all right, boom, now I'm going to bring my message. And so I've looked at this, and if you look at any kind of huge thing that's happened, the Lord has used those platforms to push his message, whether it was BT, award show, celebration of God. gospel. These little these things that seem like, oh, it's just this, but no, the Lord is like, okay, I can use this now and breathe on it to do what I want to do. So,
and I just want to say one person that's a fan and that was an observer. Well, I'm a fan, but at first I had to understand it, so I didn't come to the table fully understanding. Is that in the sovereign component also of this whole phenomenon of Maverick cities, that what you had that was undeniably God using lemons and making lemonade was the pandemic. Because as this new thing was happening, churches were closed.
Yeah.
And people wanted ministry.
Right.
And Maverick City had a captured audience.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you were at home.
Yeah.
And they fed you content that you'd never seen before. It was creative, it was different, it was multicultural.
Yeah.
And it was speaking to a generation that we had forgotten about. And that little combination right there,
Powerful.
you couldn't have paid a marketing company
No,
to come up
sir.
with that. There's no way. It was just divinely, sovereignly orchestrated. And if you notice, there have been other worship collectives that have tried to copy it,
Didn't work.
but it didn't really speak the same. And that doesn't mean that God can't use them. I'm just saying that for the sake of capturing the attention the way it did, there's just so many dynamics that you have to look back and go,
Nobody but
God did.
God. Yeah. So Paul, you